Have you ever wondered why you married exactly this person? Why, among billions of souls walking this earth, you chose him? Or perhaps, why he chose you? What if I told you that this wasn't an accident? What if your husband is not just your partner, but a sacred mirror reflecting everything you need to see about yourself? A mirror that shows you not only who you are, but who you're meant to become. Today, we're going to explore one of the most profound teachings in Buddhist wisdom, the concept of the karmic mirror in marriage. This isn't just philosophy. This is a truth that, once understood, will completely transform the way you see your relationship, your conflicts, and even your deepest pain. Because your husband didn't arrive randomly in your life. He came carrying a message from your own soul. And that message has been waiting for you to finally listen. Before we dive deep, I want you to ask yourself something. Think about the last argument you had with your partner. That moment when you felt frustrated, misunderstood, maybe even hurt. Now, what if that moment wasn't about him at all? What if it was about you? What if everything that bothers you, everything that triggers you, is simply showing you an unhealed part of yourself? Stay with me, because what you're about to discover will change everything. Let's start with a fundamental truth that many spiritual traditions share, but Buddhism explains with extraordinary clarity. Nothing in this universe is random. Every encounter, every relationship, every person who crosses your path carries a purpose. And when it comes to marriage, that purpose becomes even more profound. In Buddhist philosophy, we understand that before we incarnate into this physical world, our souls make agreements. Sacred contracts. These aren't written on paper, they're imprinted in the fabric of consciousness itself. Your husband is part of one of these agreements. Long before you met him in this lifetime, your soul recognized his. You both agreed to meet again, to help each other grow, to challenge each other, and yes, sometimes to hurt each other, not out of cruelty, but out of love. Because true spiritual love isn't always comfortable. It's not about constant happiness or avoiding conflict. True love is a forge. It's the fire that burns away everything false within you, everything that isn't aligned with your highest truth. And your husband, he's the mirror held up to that fire, showing you exactly what needs to burn. Think about this for a moment. Every quality in him that irritates you, every habit that drives you crazy, every word that cuts deep, these aren't accidents. They're precisely calibrated to trigger something within you. Something old. Something unresolved. A wound from childhood, perhaps. A belief you've carried for lifetimes. A pattern you've repeated again and again without even realizing it. The law of the spiritual mirror works like this. What you see in others, especially in those closest to you, is a reflection of what exists within you. Not always in the same form, but in essence. If you see him as controlling, ask yourself, where in your life are you trying to control everything? If you see him as emotionally distant, ask yourself, where have you closed your own heart? If you judge him as selfish, ask yourself, where are you denying your own needs? This isn't about blame. This is about awakening. Now, let's go deeper. According to Buddhist wisdom, there are 3 primary karmic lessons that unfold within the sacred container of marriage. These lessons aren't sequential. They often happen simultaneously, weaving together like threads in a tapestry. And your husband is the co-weaver of this tapestry with you. The first lesson is about power. In every intimate relationship, there's a dance of power. Who leads? Who follows? Who speaks? Who stays silent? This dance isn't just about daily decisions, it's about something far more ancient. It's about learning to balance strength with softness, assertion with receptivity. Many souls come into marriage carrying wounds related to power. Perhaps in past lives, or even in this one, you experienced powerlessness, domination, or control. Your husband triggers these wounds not to hurt you, but to give you an opportunity to reclaim your power in a healthy way. He shows you where you give your power away, where you try to dominate, or where you've forgotten that true power comes from inner sovereignty, not external control. The question becomes, can you stand in your power without diminishing his? Can you allow him his power without losing yourself? This is the sacred balance that marriage teaches. The second lesson is conscious surrender. This might sound contradictory after talking about power, but it's not. Surrender isn't weakness, it's the highest form of strength. It's the willingness to be vulnerable, to let your walls down, to stop protecting yourself from love. Most of us enter marriage with armor. We've been hurt before, so we protect our hearts. We control, we strategize, we keep parts of ourselves hidden. Your husband came into your life to invite you into a different way of being. He came to show you that real intimacy requires surrender, not the surrender of your identity, but the surrender of your defenses. When you fight with your husband, when you feel that wall between you, ask yourself, what am I protecting? What am I afraid to show him? What part of me am I keeping locked away? The teaching here is profound. You cannot experience true union while holding back parts of yourself. Conscious surrender means showing up fully, even when it's terrifying, even when you risk being hurt. It means saying, here I am, all of me, the beautiful and the broken, the light and the shadow. And yes, sometimes he won't know what to do with that. Sometimes he'll fumble, or withdraw, or say the wrong thing. Because he's learning too. He's also scared. He's also carrying wounds. And that brings us to the third lesson. The third lesson is authentic love. Most of what we call love is actually attachment. It's need disguised as affection. It's the desperate desire to be completed by another person, to fill the void within ourselves. But authentic love, the love that Buddhism points toward, is completely different. It's not about needing someone, it's about choosing them freely. It's not about what they can give you, it's about who you become in their presence. Authentic love is presence itself. It's the ability to sit with your husband in silence and feel complete. It's the capacity to see him clearly, with all his flaws and imperfections, and love him anyway, not because he's perfect, but because he's real. It's compassion, which in Buddhism means suffering with, the willingness to be present with his pain without trying to fix it, without making it about you. Your husband mirrors back to you your capacity for this kind of love. When you feel disappointed in him, he's showing you where you're still operating from expectation rather than acceptance. When you feel frustrated, he's showing you where you're trying to change him instead of loving him as he is. When you feel abandoned, he's showing you where you've abandoned yourself. So, how do you work with this mirror? How do you see what it's showing you without reacting, without falling into blame or defensiveness? This is where Buddhist practice becomes essential. The key is awareness. Conscious observation. The next time you feel triggered by your husband, pause. Just for a moment. Before you speak, before you react, take a breath. And in that breath, ask yourself, what is this really about? Not what he did or didn't do, but what is this feeling inside me? Where have I felt this before? When was the first time? This is called the practice of mindful inquiry. You're no longer living on autopilot, simply reacting to stimuli. You're becoming aware of the deeper patterns running beneath the surface. And here's what's beautiful. Once you see a pattern, it begins to lose its power over you. Unconscious patterns control us. Conscious patterns can be transformed. Let me share an ancient Buddhist story that illuminates this perfectly. There was once a monk who lived in a monastery high in the mountains. Every day, he would meditate in silence, cultivating peace and equanimity. One day, a new monk arrived, and this monk was loud, disruptive, and seemed to do everything wrong. The first monk found himself constantly irritated, judging this newcomer. Finally, he went to his teacher and said, "Master, I cannot find peace with this disruptive monk here. He ruins my meditation. He disturbs my tranquility." The master smiled and said, "My dear student, your peace was never real if it depended on external conditions. This monk is your greatest teacher. He's showing you that you've been meditating in comfort, not in truth. Real peace exists even in chaos. Go back and thank him for revealing what you couldn't see in yourself." Your husband is that disruptive monk. He's not here to make your life easy. He's here to make your life real. There comes a point in every conscious relationship when something shifts. It's subtle, but unmistakable. The fighting doesn't stop completely, but it changes quality. The triggers don't disappear, but they don't consume you anymore. You start to see your husband not as an obstacle, but as a companion on the path. This is when karma begins to dissolve, and grace enters. Grace, in Buddhist terms, is when you stop resisting what is. It's when you finally accept that your husband is exactly as he should be in this moment, not because he's perfect, but because this is his journey, his timing, his path. And yours is different. You're not the same person. You never will be. And that's not a problem to solve. It's a mystery to honor. When karma dissolves, you stop trying to change him. You stop waiting for him to become someone else so you can finally be happy. You realize that your happiness was never his responsibility. It was always yours. This is liberation. This is freedom. And paradoxically, this is when your relationship can truly flourish. Because now, you're not two people desperately trying to complete each other. You're two whole beings choosing to walk together, each on your own path, but side by side. I've seen this transformation in countless couples. The ones who do the inner work, who stop pointing fingers and start looking in the mirror, who commit to their own healing rather than demanding their partner heal them. Something magical happens. The relationship stops being a battleground and becomes a sanctuary. A safe place where both people can be vulnerable, can make mistakes, can grow at their own pace. The husband who once seemed like an enemy becomes a beloved friend. The woman who felt trapped begins to feel free, even within commitment. But there's an even deeper teaching here, one that goes beyond karma, beyond lessons, beyond mirrors. At the highest level of Buddhist understanding, there is no separation between you and your husband. You are both expressions of the same universal consciousness, playing different roles in the same divine drama. You are the universe experiencing itself through two different perspectives. Think about this. The same awareness that looks through your eyes also looks through his. The same life force that beats your heart also beats his. You are not two separate beings trying to understand each other. You are one being, temporarily pretending to be two, so that consciousness can experience relationship, love, growth, and awakening. This is the ultimate truth of the karmic mirror. Your husband doesn't just reflect you, he is you, in a different form. Every quality you see in him exists within you. Every lesson he brings is a lesson you asked for before you were born. Every challenge in your relationship is an opportunity for consciousness to expand, to evolve, to remember its true nature. In Zen Buddhism, they say, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. The actions don't change. What changes is the awareness behind the actions. Similarly, after you understand the teaching of the karmic mirror, you'll still have disagreements with your husband. You'll still face challenges. But you'll no longer suffer in the same way. Because you'll know that nothing is happening to you. It's all happening for you. Every moment is an invitation to wake up, to see more clearly, to love more deeply. When two people in a relationship both understand this, something miraculous happens. The relationship becomes a mutual path of awakening. You're no longer just husband and wife. You become spiritual companions, consciousness allies, souls remembering together. Let me offer you some practical wisdom for working with your karmic mirror daily. First, develop a practice of daily reflection. Each evening, take 10 minutes to sit quietly and review your day. When did you feel triggered? When did you react unconsciously? What did those moments reveal about you? Write them down. Not to judge yourself, but to see yourself more clearly. Second, practice compassionate communication. When you need to address something with your husband, start from "I feel" rather than "you always." For example, instead of saying, "You never listen to me," try saying, "I feel unheard, and I'm realizing this might be connected to an old wound where I didn't feel valued." This immediately shifts the energy from blame to vulnerability, from attack to intimacy. Third, cultivate gratitude for the difficult moments. I know this sounds counterintuitive, but stay with me. Every time your husband triggers you, silently say, "Thank you for showing me what I need to heal." You don't have to say it out loud. Just acknowledge it internally. This simple practice transforms your relationship with conflict. It moves you from victim to student. Fourth, remember that timing is everything. Sometimes, you'll see clearly what the mirror is showing you. Other times, you'll be too caught up in emotion to see anything. That's okay. Don't force it. Understanding comes in waves. Give yourself permission to be human, to have bad days, to not always be in your highest wisdom. The path is long. There's no rush. Fifth, seek support when needed. Working with the karmic mirror isn't always easy. Sometimes, we need guidance from a therapist, a spiritual teacher, or a wise friend who can help us see our blind spots. There's no shame in asking for help. In fact, it's a sign of great wisdom. Your marriage is not just a social contract or a romantic partnership. It's a sacred container, a temple where two souls agree to do the most difficult and most rewarding work, the work of becoming whole. In Buddhist tradition, we speak of the Sangha, the community that supports spiritual practice. Your husband is your most intimate Sangha. He's the one who sees you at your worst and your best. He's the one who knows your secrets, your fears, your dreams. This intimacy is both terrifying and sacred. The container of marriage holds everything: your joy and your sorrow, your growth and your resistance, your love and your fear. And it holds it safely, if you allow it to. The key is commitment, not just to the relationship, but to the truth. Commitment to seeing yourself clearly, to owning your part, to showing up even when it's hard. There's an old Buddhist saying, "The obstacle is the path." What does this mean? It means that whatever you're struggling with isn't in the way of your growth. It is your growth. That thing your husband does that drives you crazy? That's not an obstacle to your peace. That's the doorway to it. Walk through it. Don't avoid it. Don't pretend it's not there. Look at it directly. Feel the discomfort fully. And ask, what is this teaching me? Sometimes, the teaching is about boundaries. Maybe you need to learn to say no, to protect your energy, to honor your needs. Sometimes, the teaching is about softening. Maybe you need to learn to let go, to trust, to open your heart even when you're scared. Your husband shows you which teaching you need in each moment. He doesn't do this consciously. He does it simply by being himself. So, where does this leave us? Your husband is not random. He never was. He's a mirror, carefully positioned by the universe, by karma, by your own soul's deepest longing to evolve. Every frustration is an invitation. Every conflict is a portal. Every tender moment is a glimpse of what's possible when two people commit not just to loving each other, but to becoming more conscious together. The journey of marriage is not about finding the perfect person. It's about seeing yourself perfectly in the mirror of relationship. It's about growing up, waking up, and opening up. It's about transforming your capacity to love from something small and conditional to something vast and unconditional. Not because you should, but because you can. Because that's your true nature. You are love itself, temporarily forgetting, so you can remember again. I want to leave you with one final thought. The great Buddhist teacher Thich Nhat Hanh once said, "To love without knowing how to love wounds the person we love." Your husband is giving you the greatest gift, the opportunity to learn how to love consciously, wisely, and truly. Not the fairy tale love of movies and songs, but the real love that transforms everything it touches. If this teaching resonated with you, I invite you to do 3 things. First, share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Your friend going through relationship struggles, your sister questioning her marriage, your mother who's been married for 40 years and still learning. This wisdom is meant to be shared. Second, leave a comment below telling me, what is your karmic mirror showing you right now? What pattern are you ready to see? What are you ready to transform? Let's create a community of conscious relationships together. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Third, subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. We're going to continue exploring Buddhist wisdom for modern life, relationships, consciousness, and awakening. This is just the beginning. Remember, your husband isn't your enemy. He's not even your problem. He's your teacher, your mirror, your greatest opportunity for growth. Honor him. Thank him. Even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. Because that's when the real transformation happens. Until next time, may you see clearly, love deeply, and walk your path with courage and grace. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing this sacred work. The world needs more conscious relationships, and it starts with you.